Now I'm going to talk about Red Eyes Productions. It is an Indian film production and distribution company based in Punjabi. 2019 to the present, there are two black eyes, and inside the black eyes, there is a red eyes on a red film roll, and inside it, there is the word Red Eyes in red text, and under the black line, there is the word Productions in black text. Here is an intro. Has been the previously neutral Nordic country. In the 2023 Integra. So the first thing you notice about this, so we have a really nice feature trifles. Thanks for joining along with us here. I'm happy to be in another electrified vehicle with you once again. Yeah, we had a great time on the Prius drive last year, and happy to be back with you again. So rainy day in Arizona, which is a sentence I wasn't expecting to ever say, but we have a nice drive here. We've been driving already a good bit of the day today, and setting off from the Ioniq 6, one of the first things you'll notice about it is that it does feel very similar to the Ioniq 5. If you're used to those at all, it's very similar and does feel like you're kind of just driving a lower Ioniq 5. Like Chris knows, it's not a whole lot of surprises here. Right. That's kind of the bottom line. You have the same motor, same battery pack, a lot of the same kind of controls, and like your throttle response, braking, all that kind of stuff. Basically the same. Yeah. And that's a good thing, because the Ioniq 5 will go through itself a bit, and, so in this case, copy and pasting in some areas is also a really good thing. You have the super fast charging like you get with the Ioniq 5, of course, all AC platforms. Then it's hard to get unique things to the 6 here. So visibility is, obviously not quite as airy as it is the Ioniq 5, but you still have a low-forward windshield, good view out of the side, view out of the back. I'd say that's better than the average sedan. Might be better than the EV6, if I remember right, too. Yeah, it's also, I guess now we're going to probably fix this thing with the Ioniq 5 not having a rear wiper, but with this, I'm not seeing the rear window get super dirty like the Ioniq 5. But, really easy to drive, though. The really nice thing is you have the option of the regen pedal, so you can have either a one-pedal mode, or you can have as much or as little regen as you want. It's really nice that it does offer you that flexibility, and it's also fun if you're in a hilly area, you open up the regen whenever you want to have more, and then back off whenever you want to just coast around if you're used to gas vehicles and how they kind of, coast. And so, it's just sort of a nice thing to drive through the car. It's also pretty nice inside. We were talking earlier in coasting about how the 5 is definitely a little stiffer than the 5, which we were both expecting. This is, as a fan in general, I feel like fans typically like fairly sportier bias in some cases, they're so smaller fans. And so, I think this is stiffer is appropriate, but I wouldn't really call it stiff. Like, I call it like maybe it's firm. You feel the road. Yeah, it doesn't feel harsh or anything. And it does, we went over some big spots earlier, it handled it really well, especially further down. Yeah. It's not like a luxury car, smooth buttons or anything like that. It's quiet in here, but it doesn't feel like I said, a luxury car. Yeah. I think it's okay, it's getting up to electric car prices, but that's what the GV60 is for. Yep. The electrified stuff, so they should be, So, I think there's a nice blend here, how they set it up. As far as other suspension stuff goes, you have a multi-link suspension in the wheelbase. One notable difference between this and the 5 is that the wheelbase is shorter, even though this vehicle overall, I think 8 having is longer than the 5. So, that's what changes the character a little bit, unfortunately, with these rainy roads. We don't have a ton of opportunities to really push this vehicle a whole lot, but, I think that's the potential makes it even a little more happy than the 5, which I had really get the 5 to step out on the corner exit at home, and so I'm excited to be able to push this a little bit more in the future as But this all-wheel drive version, you do have the usual dynamic to go 40 in the sport mode, you go 50/50 in snow mode, and then you have, it'll actually default to two-wheel drive if you go to summer or take it easy in normal mode. So we do have that motor.
That motor disconnect was impressive when you're talking about. So two different advances. Motor disconnect on the front, it's about 5 or 6% energy efficiency improvement, and then silicon carbide semiconductors also help out 5 to 6% as well. So the efficiency on this thing is right at the top of the class.
And it's impressive that it means that you don't have to take quite the quality of all-wheel drive that you do some other vehicles where the range drops so much more and you go for all-wheel drive. This is like, this is 270 in a wheel drive version. This is 305. So, you lose out on 30 or 35 miles or whatever, but it's not huge, and so, I'm pretty impressed with that. I think the disconnecting stuff is just nice and kind of aggravates me to do.
For sure. Yeah, especially if you get in like the smaller wheels. All-wheel drive with the smaller 18-inch wheels, and you have a little bit of everything. You'll have a softer ride as well. And you'll have the acceleration if you want, that all-wheel drive. Get a cheaper price point too.
Yeah.
The only thing is like, I guess looks maybe, but we talked about earlier the 18 still looks pretty decent.
Yeah.
We have done strong still.
I think the problem is if you want 18, you gotta get a return. You can't get that on the limited here.
Right. No bones, no penalties.
And even those who do well, that's all on a limited too. I wish that they maybe, I don't know, I don't think they have any option packages to upgrade.
I didn't see when I was going to build it, but I didn't.
But that would be great to see, like see an SCL on the premium package. Something to give you the capability of most of those niceties that you might be expecting from a $50,000 car, but still give you the capability. I mean, obviously, you're not down by what the manufacturer offers as far as wheels go. That's the easy thing. It's much easier to change wheels than it is to
you're going to put like a seat cover on and make it ugly.
So, I think it's fine, get a limited, get out of some small wheels, you probably go with a great eventually, that should be better, And like I said, I think this has the potential to even lower performance as well.
I think so. If the conditions are right, I think this thing is close to maybe 400 miles. I think you can hypermile it close to 400, but
the long-range wheel drive, they yield 361 miles of range. That's the top range actually. And that's also close to things so they get aerodynamic. You get on all of these.
And the LX5 and EV6 typically overperform the rating as well, so it's impressive for such a small battery, such a small, right? 77.
It's still a lot of not enormous, these days else out there. So yeah, I think it's pretty well done job as far as that. And also the fact that it's not even that big of a deal when you have to recharge because of the
18 minutes.
Which again, if you're road tripping, like get a Hyundai or a Kia, well I guess a Tesla, but it's like those three unless you can spend Porsche money and Audi money. Otherwise, this is it. Like it beats everything else just on that recharge. 18 minutes from 10% to 80%. That's game over.
Yeah, that's one of the strongest advantages for the GMC platform. Like Hyundai was smart from the get-go. It was straight to 800 volts. I'm gonna make it work on the rest after that, and we're already seeing in this. Just 1 year later at the ILM5, they made some improvements in efficiency already. Yeah, crazy.
All the things here, the steering is nice and a little bit heavier, I think, compared to the Acad. That is one thing I felt that is different for the But we're going to have to come up into the sport mode here. Let's turn on the factory and see how the ILX6 does. Got the one road field, but here we go. 3, 2, 1. Alright! It's up against pretty nicely here. So, with the all-wheel drive version here, we have 320 horsepower, 446 pound-feet of torque, a 5.1 seconds 0 to 60, and so it's punchy. Those two wheel drive versions. There's two different sets. With the mid-grade one, the most affordable four-wheel drive, going to have 225 horsepower, I believe, and 258 pound-feet of torque, and that's like a 7.4 seconds 0 to 60. So big downgrade in the power there. Average performance for commuter vehicles and stuff, but this one is properly quick, and especially in sport mode, it really ramps up quickly with the power here. So what you're going
sure.
It's still impressive even at that speed.
Yeah, like, here's the thing with EVs, yes, it only has like, what, 320 horsepower, something like that. It's so much more impressive in electrification than it is in a gasoline engine. To get 300 horsepower in a gasoline, especially naturally aspirated engine, you're waiting for the revs to build. And there's never that instant where you're just shoved in the back of your seat. Like, the immense amount of torque instantly and almost instant power as well. You never get used to it, and it's always surprising. Like, we were talking about it earlier, it's kind of like a roller coaster ride. And you feel your insides moving. Even though this isn't the fastest EV out there, it's still faster than 99% of gas cars out there. Like, 5 seconds to 60 is faster than anyone needs to go on a daily basis. So it's definitely going to be there for people who want to have some fun from time to time. But my daily is a Prius, so I'm happy like with the 7.5 0 to 60 on the rear wheel drive.
But yeah, I think I think the electric thing is, it doesn't get old. Like, some people are like, yeah, it's the one-trick ponies, but it's still fun. Like, the G's still make an impression on you. It's still
ripping.
It's still, yeah, it's always exciting. And it's also going back to the gas thing, it's like you have an instant out. You're going to have a perfect longevity, which isn't guaranteed in a gas car, And so, I mean, yeah, it's really fun. They do have the ends coming and stuff.
Oh, God, you're like the high performance. Yep. I think the battery packs are going to be similar in size. Of course, the Ranger is going to go down with more performance tires and whatnot. But look at the EV specs, like, mid 3, somewhere around there, 0 to 60. It's amazing what electrification can do with not a lot of extra engine yet. Bigger electric motor. Here we go.
Yeah. It's actually impressive because this whole day we've been driving around here, it's really 250 miles. We started out the day, it's probably over 300 miles of charge. And as we've been driving we're getting about 3.2 miles per kilowatt hour. So it's moving everything out to be pretty close to that 270 estimate. And driving, but I mean, we have also been getting all hard. We've been driving in rain all day and stuff.
Hills and going slightly up hills too to get to some parks and whatnot. Going up the mountains a little bit.
So yeah, we definitely drain the battery a little more. So the fact we're still basically looking at we're going to get almost over 200 miles, 270 miles range. I think it has a strong potential to overperform, even if you don't get the full view. But we don't have too many corners to try out here on this part of the drive. Like I say, over these little bumps that we have here, and some of the other corners we were experiencing earlier in the day, is that it doesn't stay nice and fun. I'm going to have to get ways to push it on my local roads. But it's very flat and stable, very reassuring and inspiring. I don't know, I just feel like it feels very, very capable. I mean, and also, we're using this sound design right now, and this thing you can have it louder or quieter. This is actually a medium thing. There's a louder thing that I feel like it's like Hellcat levels of like and so, it's cool, but it feels like it's not really super connected to a gas pedal. And so, it's like, I hit the gas, and it like kind of makes a little more noise, but then I'm completely off the gas and it's still making a bunch of noise. So it's I don't know, usually everything with these kind of thing is directly related to your speed and your throttle, but as much.
I think it's really there for continuous acceleration. I think we would be rewarded for that, but unfortunately we don't have like unlimited speed limit,
Yeah. But it's good otherwise. I don't really like some sport mode again here. And it's actually weight. For a 4,616 pounds. The lightest versions are going under 4,000 pounds. And then all of that as a pounds. So I mean, they're very light. 600 pounds. But I mean, with the lotion of having a battery, 2.5 watts. I'm probably also using the tires here, the mirror tires, a little bit on the rear side. But I mean, 2.5 watts is a good move. A lot of other electric vehicles go speed and so having good range and still 245 watts tires is really impressive. that? Yeah, so I'm not going to be able to play around with the bias. Punch it out of a corner and feel anything. But you do have torque vectoring, of course, with the all-wheel drive system. That's one of the dynamic skills as well. So, yeah, I think it's definitely a nice improvement over the 5 too. If you're rewarded, yes, the ride a little stiffer, and you're rewarded with software handling, and I can certainly feel that with more confidence. Which I can do it. It's like, wow, this is crazy. You can do it. Like, I'm like, low to the road, I can just carry it out and have full confidence. It gives me a lot more confidence when you're fine. Also, fire safety check goes here at it. All the usual Hyundai safety suite stuff as standard. You have automatic electric braking, blind spot monitoring is standard, all those typical things with the cross up the light, all that. It does come standard on every Ioniq 6. Some of the stuff is reserved for added some things, so if you want there's a forward collision avoidance system, so that will actually do the basic steering if someone comes over in your lane and you're not reacting, steer away automatically. And those types of advanced features are only here on the top trim. Also the blind view monitor, the surrounding cameras, all those things are also limited here. But otherwise, a really good safety check. You also have the Highway Drive Assist 2.0 here, and the SEL and the Limited. If you go for the base trim, and you only have Highway Drive Assist 1, so it's the older version of that system. And with the second generation here, it's going to give you the auto lane changes, but that still needs everything on the wheel, and you have to be the one that does the lane changes. It doesn't do it automatic. It just assists you with that. And it's kind of slow. I've tried it in advanced stuff, and it's like almost not even worth bothering with. I don't bother with them, even in other manufacturers here. I'm going to have to wait for the 1 week back at home. Because I've been frequently let down by the lane keep assist systems in Hyundai Kia and Genesis. So let's see if this one's any different. The safety can start from that video. See what that's like in the follow-up. But, it's only safety check nonetheless. The last two things I mentioned here about the Ioniq 6 are the range and efficiency numbers, and also the pricing and how it compares to competitors. So first off, as far as range goes and the efficiency, so obviously your efficiency will vary depending on your climate, where you're driving, how you're driving. It is great that you do have a heat pump, so they're going to be a little bit in the winter time compared to some of the other competitors out there that might not have the heat pump, and the range and the estimates for all the efficiency stuff will vary depending on which trim, which wheels, all those different things. All of this is on a screen there, and it has a breakdown of all the different ranges. At the very worst, you get 270 miles of range. The very best, 361 miles of range. Very impressive. For both metrics, honestly, so how you have. So I think efficiency is top notch. It really helps, especially having the focus of the aerodynamics that really wants to maximize the efficiency. Some of the game is going to be let down by the efficiency of these. But then the last thing I mentioned is that price. And so, as far as the pricing goes, we should just under $43,000 including destination for the base SE standard range, which gives you a smaller battery. It's only available in that base trim. And then if you go beyond that, the regular SE with the larger battery, which gives you that top 361 miles of range with the wheel drive rating, they're going to run you about 45 or so, and then they go up from there. And they're all pretty long stuff, like I said. You have blind spot monitoring is standard, the screens are standard, there are lots of good standard stuff. But, they do reserve, I guess, some of the core luxury features you're probably expecting at these higher price points for this limited version only. So this one, is just over $57,000. And the limited is the only way you get a heated steering wheel, the only way you get ventilated seats, it's the only way you get a moonroof. Both? It's the only way you get both as well? Yeah, the only way you get the both as well. And so they really are locking you out of a lot of big things. I mean, things that you can get a heated steering wheel and a Sonata for not very much money. You can get a cooled seats and you can get all this tech in a Sonata hybrid and get 50 miles per gallon, and you'll save at least 10 grand. Yeah, at least. And so that's kind of one of the problems here with this. Now, it's I guess not fair to compare it to gas power stuff, because of course you're paying a premium for the electric, and I'm assuming, prepared for the fact that you're paying a premium for the electric. You might not make that up, with gas savings. It is still kind of a luxury thing, and the installation of a level 2 charger is extra money. there's some costs associated with getting into an EV for sure. But whenever we are comparing it to other EVs, the main two competitors were there's only two. It's the Tesla Model 3 and the Polestar 2. And I would say for both of those, this has a good value component to it because, you know, Polestar comparably equipped is going to be over 60 grand compared to this limited to 57.
Those other two do provide higher levels of performance.
Right.
For the money.
That's really the one thing. I think Tesla still has a beat. If you want fast performance, that's 3.1 seconds into 60 in the Model 3 Performance.
It's just silly.
For 55 grand, assuming you don't need autopilot or enhanced autopilot or the full self-driving thing, that isn't full self-driving. If you're into that stuff, then you're going to be paying way more than these prices. But yeah, you can theoretically get a 3.1 seconds into 60 Tesla for 55 grand or so. So I mean, that is, I think if you're an enthusiast, that still is going to call out to you more, but there's a lot of compromises there. The Tesla has no smartphone integration, no Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You don't have the cool seats like I mentioned. You don't have like gauges in front of you.
You don't have
so many compromises.
Like common creature comforts are just not there.
Yeah. And so, you know, obviously there comes down to personal preferences and all that, but I think that this has some stuff you don't get in the others. So that yes, there's performance,
and you're not going to look like every other Tesla on the road. I think that's just like a big draw to this vehicle. It stands out. I know people have been looking at this car. People say over and over, let's take a Porsche. Like, and those are not, they're just common people we've ran into saying it. That has a lot going for it, and it's a crazy efficiency. Even if you're not using all the range all the time, over time, with the amount of, you know, dollars per kilowatt that you're spending, like, it just makes a lot of sense as well next to the competition. It's very efficient.
I think this price is pretty low. You know, I think a lot of cars these days, especially EVs, some of them are way too high at the price. I think this is, you know, pretty spot on for an EV.
Yeah, I mean, price is pretty similar to where the EV6 is and the Ioniq 5, and those seem to be selling well, so why change it?
So, and I guess that is the final thing, is you do pay a premium for the sedan features. Obviously, the Ioniq 5 gives you roof, which this doesn't have. It gives you the heads-up display, which this doesn't have. It gives you extra practicality. So you're paying for the sporty thing here with the Ioniq 6 for sure. So, you know, I'd say the 5 is probably still slightly better value, probably, but, you know, as someone who wants a sedan, again, there's very few to pick from.
Very few sedans to pick from. Personally, I would be picking the Ioniq 5 over the Ioniq 6, but I'm happy to keep the idea and all that agree on it.
Setting off here in the 2023 Integra. So the first thing to notice about this, so we have a really nice low seat from RevMax TV. Thanks for joining us, Eric. Right on here with drive partners on this trip today.
Thanks for having me. It's an honor to be on the OG YouTuber car channel.
I guess it's time. But so anyway, yeah, we're gonna head out here and have a few little drives. We're gonna test out some features here in the Prius Prime. But I mean, the neat thing here with the Prime is that you have the electric range. That's a big improvement. Many of you loved the Prius that we kind of back here just a few months ago, and so now with the Prime, the big main headline thing here is that in the SE you get 44 miles of electric range, 39 here for the XSE. We're in a regular XSE, there's also the XSE Premium, and then the SE, we're kind of in the mid-grade here. So, but I mean, that's, you know, enough range for everyone to do their daily commutes in, and it's, you know, and plus you can get horsepower bump, which we'll talk about here in a second when we do an acceleration, plus the extra power, the great electric range, and you still get really good fuel economy, even though you're gaining about, as we see, about 100 pounds, 96 pounds. It's also for adding a bigger battery and the extra motor and stuff. I mean, I'm impressed that it's, you know, only 96 pounds heavier, honestly.
And what's really impressive compared to the last generation, I was talking with the chief engineer, he said that they tried to hit the weight of the last generation, the weight target, but they couldn't quite get it. They were a little bit higher, I think about 60 pounds or so more than the last generation. But you can talk about the refinement. What you're getting for this extra few pounds is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like we talked about with the regular Prius, and we covered that, it's so nice and clear. So much, I think, firmer and sporty with the ride quality, but also just more comfortable in general. It's less, you know, sloppy than the last generation was. And less acceleration is fine, it just has to be very soft. And I think it has a nice blend of the sportiness and the smoothness. And it's also really quiet here. I mean, I'm planning to be a little noisier, but this one is really impressive.
There's so much more refinement in here than the last generation. I think that's the one thing that I really noticed. That was a more basic, more economy kind of vibe. This just feels like they really upgraded and really got their A game forward. And this feels like this is now in line with the rest of the Toyota products. With the interior, the ride quality, all that is like really a big step up.
And performance makes it TNGA-C platforms, which is shared with the control and government. And this here, it gives you a lower center of gravity, all those things to really help any vehicle to drive better and also be more comfortable. So kind of the best of all the awesome parts and improvement. And so, we're in EV mode right now, and so it has a few different modes. There's an auto mode, which will cause it to go between the electric and hybrid functions, and then there's also, of course, dedicated EV mode. You want to keep it in that. And it's going to try and drain the battery as the priority and give you the most efficient drive possible. And so, I'm discovering a good bit. The gas engine is not switching on. So you can, even in auto mode here, you can get on the gas, and that's the nice thing is they improved this electric motor. It's 151 horsepower on its own. You can actually do your full drive in electric mode, and that's huge. Some of the components are using an electric Prius. This is kind of a fully electric Prius for 99% of most people's usage cases, I feel like, how many people do actually go more than 44 miles every day for their daily commute?
Yeah, most people, I think the typical average is about 40 miles is the maximum. So if you're commuting back and forth, you can do it completely on electricity now. For the first time, it's plug-in.
Yeah.
And it charges up overnight without any issue. You can use 120, or you can put in a level 2 charger, and that's going to charge for about 4 hours on a level 2. I think about 11 hours on the 120. And that's what we were talking about, the gas prices now. We did buy drive, and they're around $3.50 where you are per gallon. They're about $5 here. Gas prices ain't going down. Not going down.
Right. So then just take them off on the light, and we'll kick on the gas engine there. So, if you do really want to make sure you drain that battery, you can go ahead and put it in that EV mode.
For a lot of people, full electric is just not really that good an option, especially if you live in a rural area. This is going to work basically in all conditions.
And also, like what they're saying, is a very valid point, they make a good point where they said we could put out 7 or 8 of these Prius Primes, use that same battery material to make one of the average EV on the road with an 80 to 100 kilowatt-hour battery. And, if everyone's living 4 miles anyway, every day or less, then you kind of get that EV thing. You have that electric commute for everyone, but you're using way less material to do it. And Toyota really thinks that's the smart way to go about that, and I tend to agree that, it makes more sense to get more of these out there with less materials. I think it's going to really be a benefit to Toyota down the road with all these supply constraints on battery components. Something like this, they can still control them out to get over the 13.6 kilowatt-hour battery here in this. Like I said, that's enough for all your commuting and some of your power too. So we're at another red light here, so I'm going to go ahead and put it up into the dedicated electric mode here, and we'll do a little acceleration. So, I'm like 3/4 throttle there. We just go 40 miles per hour, no problem. Traffic's way behind us. You can still smoke people with this thing, so, you really do make sure you do prioritize that battery, then just put it in electric mode, and I think you have plenty of power, and I'm definitely excited to do an acceleration here to see when you can do a full 220 how that feels. But yeah, I think it's still plenty of fun. Certainly, so much more mobile looks like a hybrid. With if you had a whisper on the headlamp, or you had any kind of uphill grade, it's not even saying, all right, we're going to get on the gas engine. This thing actually has solid electric power.
There's so much more power in this from the last generation. It's sort of hard to explain it on video. There is way more range and way more torque in this motor too. I can't understand the torque figures on the electric motor, but clearly it's pretty strong. When built in pavement, it feels quite good. It seems to absorb the bumps with a lot of compliance, without a lot of drama. You don't get a lot of impacts coming into the cabin. It feels like nicely damp. I like this. There's another one.
And I did say that, they did some suspension tuning changes, but of course that's supposed to compensate for the extra weight of the battery. So I feel like handling wise is pretty consistent to what you get with the regular Prius. Another thing handling wise, I guess we can kind of mention is that we're driving through this lift tunnel here. You only have front-wheel drive with the Prius Prime. So they're asked why they didn't do all of them. It's just a packaging thing between, trying to fit in a gas tank, battery pack, or a rear electric motor. It's just too much to ask. They can't tell it. So that's the reason why they hold them only on the regular Prius and not here on the Prime. But, as long as you're taking it, relatively easy, as long as it's a ton of power, that's still tires to help you if you are in a steady place. I'm sure it'll be fine for most people. But in a straight, you're not giving up that much. With the regular Prius all-wheel drive, you're only down, less than 25 horsepower. I guess you want the electric range. You're still fantastic for this model. That's a great option if you want to have that all-wheel drive. But now, here. Okay, so it really, especially in Portland, it wanted to really scoot out of that corner really nicely. And it just feels so flat and composed. I'm just so impressed with how it feels. It's not much volume. Yeah, and also on these 19-inch wheels, which is the XFE and the XFE Premium, you move it on to 17 on the FE, and that's going to get the best fuel economy, and also the best electric range, of course. But, I think it's nice out there. Look great, these $19 exclusive here to the XFE, and the Prime version in general as well. And
for the first time, there's actual feel to the Prius, in the steering system. You can actually feel what the tires are doing a little bit.
Yeah, which is, a huge improvement for the Prius and just makes for a really good car in general. And that combined with the fuel response is really very impressive, especially in Portland all stores and the inclusive zap there to really retain on that power immediately. Brakes also feel pretty good here in sport mode and up at speed. So low speed, it can, be a little bit odd, but honestly it's pretty consistent most of the time as far as it lines all the regen. You can do different regen modes. There's no one pedal mode here in the Prime or in any Prius for that matter, but there are a few different regen settings. You can have it a little bit more aggressive. We'll say that between 2 cycles, if you want someone who likes a lot more regen, or if you want to filter a bit more, there is a setting in the screen where you can press the both a press the drive or you can set things up to exactly how you want to do it as well. But as far as just basic handling stuff, there's other things. It's about 3,571 pounds here for a fully loaded one. Again, this mid-grade might be a little bit lighter. Go down about 100 pounds again, it's 3,500 pounds for FD. And so, that's also commendable these days with, as far as ballooning and weight, the fact that this kept the weight is very minimal, and you have so much extra stuff, extra power. It's always very, very impressive. It feels nice, too. On these corners now, it feels nice and light, nice and low, because a lot lower than the other, the previous Prius. And it just honestly feels good. We were talking in your video about, comparison with the Civic SI. This is faster than, by the way. It's not like you can push this as much as Civic SI. You have less power, so something you can fix easily if you want to do wider tires to give up some range in FPV. You can. I want to grip on the same tires as an SI. I couldn't be far off the FPV and the sticker tuning on the SI. But average person with not any carving on a daily basis, this is close enough to be one automatic SI. It's actually faster. There's a case to be made here. It's kind of crazy, but
I think you're right. The thing with the Civic is it's a manual and it's a much more sort of tactile. You want that, absolutely. But if you need something that is going to be a little bit more all around, especially in terms of economy, this handles really well. And you're right, with fatter tires on here, I think this would be pretty good in a canyon, to be honest. Yeah, you could probably put in some low bars in here and tune the handling. There's nothing to be upset about at all with the handling of this compared to, the last generation. This is like a revelation.
Yeah. We're serious. I have no complaints with the dynamic qualities of this vehicle. I think it's actually pretty fun, pretty engaging. I would happily use a daily driver. Even again, if it's your only car and you want something fun, yes, this isn't going to be as satisfying as, pull, losing 60 like you would in the Civic SI or something without the manual and all that. But even up there to 60, we are in a place where there's no one around, basically, and of road here. So let's do an acceleration finally and see how it goes. Auto mode, and here we go. Alright, for a second there, I think it was limiting power, and then it's a strong amount of power. So they planted a 6.6 seconds to 50. It was 220 horsepower total from the 2-liter after aspirated 4-cylinder. It just has a blue injection. It's 187 because there's not any kind of special gas. Maybe 6.6 seconds, but I also have to add, for anyone who's coming out of the old Prius car, I mean, this is a rocket ship compared to the old one. You're talking about almost a 4-second faster than a 16. Having another car in automotive history that from one generation to another is almost 4 seconds faster than a 60. I don't think it's ever been done until the Prius and the Prius Prime. I mean, maybe it's an odd bragging right, but it's just like, and even there's a little bit of just stepping the tires, and it's just really, I don't know, I'm actually having a lot of fun here driving this thing, and I can only imagine, I'd love to see the GL version someday. It could be even more exciting, but even as it is really great. It's surprisingly quick. It's a lot of cars the same, and especially with the economy together here. Yeah. Pretty good. It's not to argue that. Probably enough if you want to. Yeah, we got another track coming over here. Wheel, actually. Yeah, we'll try it out. That also might help us limiting the power limit. It is a little bit limit there when I first stopped on it, but still against the very funky. And again, still faster than the typical side by like a half a second faster. Not calling out a tenth of a second or something like that. Those are like what 7.1 seconds, which is about what the regular Prius from that is on 7 seconds or 60. But this 6.6, like you mentioned, it's even not far off from like the Gearing 6 stuff. Right? So, yeah, Gearing 6 is, with the automatic, is around 6, 2, something like that. Yeah. Like in the comments about that. Alright, that's just really turned off. And we just tap it here a little bit. There we go. That's deep creek. Alright! So it's like a little bit like a hopping sitting there where I think it actually did cut gas control still or whatever, and came back on and off, and then tires. So, yeah, if you are in enthusiast, make sure you have some budget for some tires, because this thing is more than happy. I mean, it's not going to work with like, I don't know, something else like a Ford 2.0C with with a slip rating, but it is, enough power that we have roasted the tires in a Prius. It's just like, what a world we're living in. It's really impressive. Interesting. That was all the electric motor limiting split. Yeah, I don't think it's even split. Yeah, it's kind of like the power. That's funny. That was interesting. What I like about this combination, so you've got the electric motor and you've got the 2-liter gas engine, and you get a lot of torque right off the line, because it takes a second for the engine to get into the power band, but it's pretty quick because of the CVT, and then you've got all that electric torque at the same time too. It's really quite, off the line is actually what's quite expensive. Yeah, and then like any other EV, that's always the whole planting a seat, that's the type of thing called, that instant 100% torque at 0 RPM, it's always the type of thing. And now climbing hills, you can think of it engine some more, and it is definitely, it's like the ECVT. So the ECVT certainly is sort of the thing where it kind of holds the 1 RPM, and does its thing to, sort out the best efficiency. And I mean, for a vehicle like this where you want the most efficiency, it makes sense. You're not going for the most audibly pleasing character, but it's still, it's one little minor thing that's there, not amazing about it. Yeah, it's not an engine sound that inspires enthusiasts to, rally around, we want more of that. Yeah, I'd love to hear what they brought. Just sing the crazy, tuner and be like wearing that, it was kind of fun. Someone's got to do it. You're going to exhaust one of these and see how fast. Somebody will do it. But what I do like is the whirring sounds of the electric motor combined with the gas car. That actually sounds kind of neat to me. Yeah, no, I agree. And like you mentioned earlier, it's a little bit stronger than it is a regular Prius too. And also, whenever you do want to slow down in one of these, one thing that's important to note is the brakes are the same as the regular Prius. They have a little bit more performance, a little more weight. Brakes are the same 11 inches. And interestingly, the larger brakes on the front of all of them, on the 12-inch the front there, the rear on the front and the front wheel drive, the front wheel drive brakes, which is 11 inches. good. And, I mean, it's still a light vehicle, still not going super fast or anything, so totally sufficient braking. I haven't had any issues with tires, strength of the brakes. And, really great, though. It's this nice, tight floor coming up here. Okay, push a little bit, but honestly, it's not too bad. I think the handling is really impressive. We got a few more nice little spaghetti, winding roads here. We can, test out the handling a little bit more. Also, speaking of, alright. Wow, out of the corner, wow, that was impressive. Yeah, I'm standing by my assessment. This is a good alternative to the Civic SI. If you want an automatic and better fuel economy, this is really good. Man, this was fantastic. It certainly helps, but I mean, man, a lot of fun. You also have independent rear suspension and stuff. I mean, it's pretty sophisticated as far as the platform and the chassis and the suspension and everything. And so, yeah, I think this thing, especially put some better tires on it, if you don't mind the efficiency, you could really have something here. I almost want to do a Prius build, because this is inspiring me. Like, I want to see what this platform can do, because it seems so good. And I really hope they do some type of GR version someday, because I think that could be really, really cool. I think the underlying platform is really a huge step up from the last generation here, because now we're on the TNGA-C platform, this architecture, and there's just a lot more weld points in here, just a stiffer structure, and so that gives Toyota a lot more flexibility to tune the suspension in a more sporting way without losing any of the ride quality. In fact, the ride quality is better in here than the old Prius, right? Yeah, I think so. It's really, really impressive. And, but then whenever you are settling down, you're not turning around like we are, you can get really a fuel economy too. I mean, you don't give up much compared to the regular Prius. So these are rated, if you're going for an XSE with these bigger wheels, you're doing about 50, I believe, in this city, and I think combined you're, a little bit under that. But they do max out at 52 mpg combined for the SE there with the smaller wheels. And so, I mean, that's not far. It's only a couple mpg for the other, non-plug-in hybrid Prius. And so, and that's, if you're using the gas engine all the time, so it's presuming that you can't plug in. Yeah. But most times, you're going to be able to plug in, and you're going to be getting, into the MPG, because you're not going to be using any gas at all. So, conceivably, you could get this, and you could drive around for a couple of months, and the engine's probably just going to turn on every now and then just to cycle through the gas tank. So you can drive this thing without using gas for quite a while. Yeah, and then even more so if you have the solar roof, which is one of the other things we haven't mentioned yet. It has a solar roof option. It's only on the Tom XSE Premium has an option on that. So, even a regular XSE Premium doesn't come with it standard. But if you did it, I think I took like 185 watts, and they gave a rough estimate of around 700 miles over the course of the year in ideal circumstances. About 775. So, we can assume that would be like sitting out in sunny California all day long. Right. But that's really cool that, you have that extra little bit. I don't think we saw pricing for that option. But, as long as it's priced reasonably, I mean, that is a really great option. They said, for example, they give the example of going to the airport and parking outside for a week. You can come back with a couple extra miles of range. They said you can have enough extra range to keep yourself home on like an hour. We will have to test these and park them outside ourselves and see if we actually get some real world steps of TBD as far as how much it actually helps you, but it does help you. They said that the solar power there can both charge the accessory battery whenever you're up and moving, and then whenever you're parked, that's when it can actually charge the tracked car. But this one actually will give you more range. So the type of vehicle, you never get stranded. Even if you ran out of gas.
Now, as far as the pairing process, real simple. Once you power up the speaker, hit the Bluetooth pairing button, go to your phone's Bluetooth menu, and select the M430. Alright, so let's do a little sound test. Now I'm going to start off at 50% volume. Make sure you put your headphones on or watch this video using the quality system. Here we go. one more thing that I want to mention. Just like with the R830, the M430 has zero distortion. When you play this at max volume, it's going to sound crystal clear. And that bass is thumping without the faceplate. You can watch it vibrate, and I love that. Here we go. I love watching the speakers move like that. Watch the vibrations when that bass kicks in. So now let's do one more test, but this time with the cover on. Now, on the side note, the cover is made out of fabric, but if you flip it around, it has holes in the back, so it's not going to interfere with your sound. Now, of course, I got the official Floor Cicada sound test by my homeboy Mark Rabier. Here we go.
Yo, sound test, proper sound test. Everybody shut your mouth, proper sound test. How to test that quality of sound test. How to sound boss, how to sound boss, how's it sound now? Does it sound big? Does it sound loud? How's the bass, baby? How's the treble loud? How's it sound now? How's it sound now? That's a sound test. That's a motherfucking sound test. That's a sound test, baby. That's a sound test. That's a motherfucking sound test. How's the sound on that shit? Goddammit. How's the sound, white shoes? How's the sound on it?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Rabier. Alright, so let's check the buttons real quick. Now you got play and pause. Volume up and down. Skip to the next song. Go back to the previous track. Here's your Bluetooth pairing. Your Bluetooth and auxiliary switch. And of course, if you want to check your battery, press the button. And you got 4 LED indicators. Okay, so all of the buttons work. Alright, so now let's check the power bank feature. I'm going to plug in a USB Type-C cable. Grab a phone. And bam, there it is. Charge them right up. Alright. This is the Art of Fighting for Neo Geo CD. This happens to be the limited edition box set, proudly featuring Robert Garcia on the front. And let's open this thing up. Obviously, this particular one has seen some wear and tear. This was donated by Matthew in Brick, New Jersey. So a giant thank you to Matthew for this generous donation, which is a really nice special edition box set. And I like this thing. Very colorful. I'll take a look at this momentarily, but let's first investigate the actual CD and insert for the Art of Fighting on Neo Geo CD. Full color disc, and an attractive one. Not bad. Here's the instruction manual which gives you a bit of information if you can read any of it, which I can't. But it's still pretty cool. I like the effect they have here of the guys and all their frames of animation. Those images are repeated here on the back of the CD insert in full color. But this is really the star of this packaging, because you get some cool things in here. Let's carefully open this. It's been opened once before. Probably more than that, but we have Robert's coin and the Art of Fighting art book. And if you've ever played the Art of Fighting, or if you've watched my review of it, it is a beautiful game and one worthy of having its own art book. Full color, hardcover. And most importantly, it's stylish and awesome. Art of Fighting fan, unless you have stickers of the Art of Fighting all over your Trapper Keeper, like I do. It's the Art of Fighting box set. You get a video game, an art book, nice packaging, a coin, and most importantly, stickers. It's the art of stickers.